Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel for another video finally. It has been, I guess really only about a week since I have filmed a video for this channel, but it feels like it has been so much longer than that. I hope that you guys all had an amazing Christmas with your families. Drop down below your favorite memory of the Christmas season and what your New Year's Eve plans are, since I cannot believe that is tomorrow already. But yeah, I have for you guys my weekly update. I wrote down everything that I wanted to share with you guys so that I didn't forget anything, as always, because you guys know that if I don't have a plan, it's very spastic. So I'm just gonna go ahead and jump right on into it. I do have another video planned for tomorrow where we are finally going to be talking all about Dr. Jones and intermittent fasting and microdosing and all of that. I've been working on that video for a couple of weeks now, like reading about him and watching his videos and all of that. So if I can film it right now, I'm going to do so if my kids don't go crazy. If not, it'll be tomorrow's video. So you guys will see that on Tuesday. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. There's a couple things that I wanted to talk about today that I feel like were different for me. So the first thing, before we get into like anything in regards to how, if I gained weight or any of that, I want to talk about this really weird thing that happened. And I thought it was just me, but I actually saw somebody else post in the Orderly Meds Facebook group, like they went inside my brain and pulled out my thoughts and put them on paper, or on a post. That is what it felt like. So essentially I had this moment over Christmas, I would say like a few days around Christmas, where I like missed food. So not in the sense of like I'm hungry or I'm having food noise or severe cravings, more so in the sense of like missing the attachment and the feelings that I used to have surrounding food. So like the comfort that it brought me around the holiday season, the eating all the cookies and, you know, drinking wine and all of the things that food used to bring me, and the comfort and the joy that it brought me, that it just doesn't anymore. And that's like really strange to me, because for my whole life, I associated good things or good events or good times of the year, being Christmas, with food, like what I was going to eat. Like even New Year's Eve, it was like, what food are we going to buy to eat over New Year's Eve? And now that's just gone from me, and it's really strange. And so over this Christmas season, it was almost like a nostalgia feeling. Has anybody else experienced this? I, of course, want to know your thoughts down below on it, but it was almost like a part of the Christmas season that had been a part of it for, many, many years of my life was just not there anymore. It was just gone. One thing that we used to do every year this was, I guess, before I had children, so it's been a while, but was that we would go to Jack in the Box on Christmas Day, because they were the only place that was open. So we'd open our presents and then we would go to Jack in the Box and get a meal or whatever, and that's what we would eat before Christmas dinner. And now it's like just having those memories that are tied to food, and it's like my brain having trouble distinguishing that those memories can exist without the food, I guess, or maybe they can't. I don't know. It was this really weird nostalgic feeling. Almost made me feel like something was missing through like Christmas Eve and Christmas and the day after Christmas, because we would always like sit around and my kids and I like eat all the cookies and the candy from our stockings and play with all of our new toys. And that's just not a part of it anymore. I mean, we're playing board games and we're doing things, but the candy and the food aspect is gone. And it was just really, really strange to me. So I want to know your thoughts on that. If you think that's a thing, if you've heard of this before. I thought it was just me, like I said, until I saw that post in the group, and I was like, oh, I feel the same. Almost like I was grieving something. So weird. So let me know your thoughts on that down below. As far as how my particular week went and what I did in order to kind of stay on track, the first thing that I did was obviously prioritize protein. So every meal that we had, so Christmas dinner, Christmas Eve dinner, all of the meals, I would make sure that the biggest portion on my plate was protein. And that helped me to eat less of the other things, like the mashed potatoes and the mac and cheese and all of the other other things that we don't necessarily need, or I don't need as much of, I guess I should say, because no food's off limits, which leads me to my next thing. I also ate what I wanted, girlfriend, boyfriend, friends. I ate what I wanted. On Christmas Eve, I had a slice of cake at my mother-in-law's house. On Christmas Day, I actually had the same cake at my mother's house because we took the cake and we took the rest of it to her house. So I had 2 slices of cake. I didn't really eat Christmas cookies. I'm not a whole big cookie person, but I munched on snack mix and all of the fun holiday things, chocolate covered pretzels and a couple chocolate truffles, whatever. Granted, I did not eat as much of those things as I would have otherwise in previous years, but I ate them. Now, in my mind, that was both good and bad, because the good part of that was that I still enjoyed those things. And I think that that is a very big part of this journey. It kind of goes back to people who never had an obesity or a problem with food before. That whole thing about how they're not stressing over the food the same way we are because they don't think about it. Their brain doesn't think about food in the same way. And so now I'm a quote unquote normal brain food thinker. And so I think in the matter of, I want a truffle, I can eat one truffle and be done with it. And so I think that that's a very healthy mindset to have. And it's a very good way to think. But it did come with some consequences for me. The increased amount of sugar that I had eaten, because that's way more sugar than I eat on a normal basis. I don't typically eat any sugar, very rarely, throughout my normal eating. And so because of that, I had a pretty sour stomach. And I actually had some sugar headaches, which I'm not sure if that is like a real thing, but I noticed that both times I ate the cake, I had headaches afterwards, like about an hour later. And so, I paid for eating it, but I don't regret eating it. And so I think that is important to say. Like, will next Christmas I eat a slice of cake again? Probably, yeah. On my birthday, will I eat cake? Yeah. But just know that they can come with some side effects. And especially if you're in the like lower part of your journey where you're still increasing in dosage and you're still very active in weight loss. If I had eaten a slice of cake like that, the size of cake that I ate on Christmas night, when I was like titrating up to 5 or 7.5 or 10, especially if I was in like the first couple weeks of 10 or like the first week of 7.5, I would have paid for it very badly. So I think it really is important in context to say where you're at on your journey when I'm talking about these things, because this is not something that I probably could have done in good faith, knowing that I was going to feel so terrible in the very beginning of my journey, or even 6 months ago. So it's definitely a time and a place thing, I think, as is for everything. So as far as my weight goes, I did actually gain a couple of pounds over the Christmas thing. The last time I weighed in for you guys, I was 158. And this time I was 160.2, and I actually weighed the day after Christmas. So the 26th, that morning, I weighed that morning because I wanted to get that number for y'all to see if I had gained any weight. I weighed 160.2, and then it was actually back to normal by Saturday morning, today's Sunday when I'm filming this. So Saturday morning I weighed and I was 157.8. So it went back to normal, which I think is great. So, I saw somebody else in the orderly group mention, or this might've been in my Facebook group, I'm not sure. The group's all mixed for me, but they talked about how they were really feeling down on themselves because they had gained 6 pounds in a day or the last week, whatever. And I think that reading through those comments was really positive, because most of the people were like, okay, you didn't really gain 6 pounds. You would have had to eat this amount of calories to really gain 6 pounds of fat in 5 days. So I realized that I really didn't gain 2 pounds. It was the sugar, the salt, probably a lack of water, definitely a lack of water, and my body like being like, whoa, and retaining things, and then I let it go. And so I think that's really important to remember. Now, Chris, same kind of thing. He fell off the wagon and ate a lot more sugar than he had been eating the past couple of weeks. And he did end up feeling pretty bad, actually. I remember on Christmas Day, we had some cinnamon rolls for breakfast, cinnamon rolls and bacon, that a friend of ours makes and sells every year. We actually bought 2 pans of them, so there's another pan in our freezer. But Chris ate 2 cinnamon rolls for breakfast, and he felt horrible the rest of the day. So much so that he like wasn't eating the rest of the day. And by nighttime, I was like, dude, like if you don't eat something, you're just going to feel worse. And it's like you're at the point now where you need to eat something to feel better. So I think he ate a sandwich or something like that just to get something else in his body. But he really noticed, and that is perfect point to what I just said. Like if you're earlier on in your journey, your body's still getting used to the medicine, the increased sugar probably is going to make you feel pretty bad. And it did for Chris as well. Now, even with all of that being said, homeboy still lost a pound this week, and he was at 211 pounds. If we remember, he started at like 225.6. So that is almost 15 pounds in the first month of him being on Mounjaro. I did his fourth or fifth shot today. He'd be able to tell you. I told him that I wasn't keeping track of like his shots or like his injection site. I was like, I got too much to remember for my own. So you're going to have to remember that yourself. So it was 4 or 5 shots this morning that I gave him, but he lost almost 15 pounds in a month, which is just amazing. He's doing great. He wants to lose probably about another 20 pounds to be about 190, which would be a good, healthy BMI weight range for him. So I think that that is great. He's doing great on it, and I'm very impressed at him so far. Now, 2 more things I wanted to talk about. This is a longer update than usual. So I do have a tiny little Orderly update. So I saw in their affiliate, they have like an affiliate Facebook group, and I saw someone mention 6 and 12 month subscriptions, which is not something that I had heard of prior. So I actually reached out to my contact and asked her kind of how it works. And essentially what she said is you sign up and you pay for the entire amount, and then well, I guess I shouldn't say that because I can't 100% say that. It's a little bit iffy on that. I've asked her for clarification, but this is what I know. You can sign up for 6 months or 12 months. They will ship you 3 months the first time. So you'll get 3 months, no matter what dosage you're on, you'll get 3 months. And then after that, it ships every 2 months. Now, the couple of things that I want clarity on are, do you pay for it all up front? Because the 12-month package is over $4,000. But if tirzepatide is about to not be available anymore, I'm sure there are people who would, either pay that amount if they had it or put it on a credit card and make payments on it. Hi, Finley. I'm sure there are people that would do that. So I want to know if that is something that you have to do is pay it up front. And then I also wanted to know what the plan is as far as shipping after February. She has not emailed me back on that yet, but I will let her know. But I will let you know. But I didn't even know that 6 and 12 months were available options. So that's good to hear. Like they're trying to make changes and trying to offer more things. So that's some good news. Orderly link will always be down below. Thank you. She made me some flowers. Orderly link will always be down below in the description box. And you can check out their 3-month starter package if you're wanting to. This is actually a really good time. If you do the 3-month starter package, which is $5.99 for 3 months, then you would be able to check in February again, which is, you would be able to get 2 months at that time and get it shipped to you before it stops. And so you would have 5 months of medication before, if they do definitely stop. So link down below always for that. Last thing I want to talk about is ways that I've been failing / my goals for the week. So ways I've been failing. Water. I got to drink some more water. That's my number 1 goal for this week, is to get the proper amount of water in. Number 2, exercise. I have not been very good at that since school let out for Christmas season. Obviously, can't even film a 15-minute video without them being here. So I need to get exercise in better this week though. My goal is 12K steps a day or more, and I can space that up throughout the day, whatever, but I needed to get it in. And then the final thing is I've been bad about taking my vitamins. So she just took a bath too. I've been really bad about just taking like the ones that I have to take and foregoing the rest. So that is the other goal for the week. So that is what I'm at. I hope you guys had an amazing Christmas. Let me know your New Year's plans. Let me know your goals for the week, how you're moving your body, all of the things. And I will see you guys tomorrow when we finally talk about Dr. Jones and my opinion on him, which is, I don't know. It'll be interesting, I think. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.